The New Orleans Pelicans and the Big 870 WWL proudly presents Pelicans Weekly. It's a weekly radio magazine focused on the Pelicans, the fans, and the NBA. We'll get the latest from Pelicans players, coaches, and front office staff. Plus, we'll check in with our experts around the league. Tonight's show is brought to you by Smoothie King, Rule the Day, Chevron, the Human Energy Company, by Energy, We Power Life, and by New Age Products, official garage and outdoor kitchen provider of the New Orleans Pelicans. Pelicans Weekly on the Big 870 starts now. Here's your host, Gus Kattengell.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. I'm Gus Kattengell, and welcome to Pelicans Weekly, where we will recap the week that was, take a look at the week that will be, and everything in between. Coming up in 10 minutes, the voice of the Pelicans, Todd Graffagnini, sits down with Pelicans center Trey Jemison. Can't wait to hear that conversation. The Pelicans went 1-2 since we last were with you. Pelicans were at OKC last Wednesday, and here is what it sounded like on the Pelicans radio network. The voice of the Pelicans, Todd Graffagnini.
Ingram drives on Aaron Wiggins. Triple team. Contact. What? Another foul on Ingram. My head's going to explode. 1-on-1 with Brandon Boston. There's a foul on a reach in. This is me breathing. Foul. Ingram tried an impossible pass down low to Messi, and it's showtime again. Back down the floor after the turnover. Boston head fake on Jalen Williams, drives in, stuffed at the rim by SGA on a dunk attempt.
A 28-18 third quarter along with 23 turnovers, just too much to overcome. Head coach Willie Green on the loss.
The thing about tonight is that we're all going to feel a loss. Guys are competing, they're playing hard, they're playing together. Now it's about trying to put together a 48-minute game. We did it for, 55, 60% of the game, and you got to do it for closer to 80, 100% of the game. And when we do, we'll give ourselves a better chance. But the biggest thing is the turnovers killed us.
Yeah, as you heard Coach say, it was competitive. It was tied 59-59 at one point, and then, Trey Murphy, what happened?
Didn't score. That's the biggest thing. Didn't score the ball, and they got in transition and got buckets. When we go through those lapses and stalls, we got to find ways to withstand the runs.
How nice is it to see Trey Murphy back on the court for the Pelicans? He had 14 that night. Also, Yves Messi recorded his first double-double of his career. The next games would be here in the comfort of the Smoothie King Center, Friday, Saturday, back-to-back. The Denver Nuggets to start the weekend off. Now, Nikola Jokic was not on a trip to the Big Easy. Pels still had to earn that win and snap that 6-game losing streak.
He won't pass up this three from the left wing, and that's good. And Ingram has 13 points in this ball game.
Now he's cooking.
Ingram bumped by Swather, no call. Right baseline, pop a 15-footer at the buzzer, and he says, "Zip it, Graf. I'll make that right in everybody's face."
B.I. in your eye, as tough a shot as he's had in this game.
Murphy, chest it to Boston. Drives into the lane, triple team. Throw it out to Murphy, wide open right wing three.
That's the look. That's the look.
Boston, right baseline underneath the hoop, left corner, Javonte for three.
Make him right.
He needed it.
Make him right.
We got to figure it out now. Murphy to Ingram, fake a three, spins right. Right baseline, 15 feet. Down, Brandon Ingram. Down, down, down.
Brandon Xavier Ingram says, "I got you. I got you, boo."
Von Iron tipped up JRE. He got it back. And that is going to do it. Ball game. Losing streak. Kerflooey.
There it is. 101-94 the final. My goodness, did that feel good. Head coach Willie Green.
It's a credit to, all of our players, starting with them, the character in our locker room, Brandon Boston, Javonte, Yves, Trey, B.I. has been putting up numbers. Jeremiah, Jamal, Jalen Noel, Trey Jemison. All these guys that I'm asking to do so much. They're giving it everything they got in practice and film. Our whole staff we all just been super supportive and together. And everybody's working as hard as they can to, go out on the floor and be as good as we can be, but also working to get guys back on the floor. So it was a really good win for us, especially, kind of trying to weather this storm.
If you listen to the Pelicans podcast, Jim Eichenoff for myself and everyone else has really talked about the start that Brandon Ingram has had to the season, and he put in work over the weekend. 29 points in that win on Friday to go with 7 assists. When the score, when the dish?
I guess just understanding the situation, looking for the space when I can attack, and looking for the outlets on the offensive.
All right, so the second half of that back-to-back, the Lakers, LeBron, AD, and company. JJ Redick, first year as the head coach over there. Anyway, Pels came out firing on all cylinders.
Now the double, and Messi came weak side and swiped it away.
Came from the blind side. LeBron James never saw him coming.
Ingram to Boston, left angle three. Yes. LeBron cross court to Reeves. Head fake, dump it down low. Davis, blocked by Ingram. 2-on-2. Noel, center of the lane, lay it in.
Brandon Ingram wipes out a sure basket with a great left-handed block at the rim.
Chest to Ingram, shot clock at 6. Head fake, Reeves, left angle 3, B.I. Oh my!
Oh, B.I. in your eye.
32 for Ingram. Pels lead 2. 2 minutes left in New Orleans. Connect, left baseline, underneath the hoop, throws it to Reeves. Extra pass, LeBron for 3. Yes, sir.
Hadn't made one tonight.
Nope.
Until then.
Except when it really counts.
Until then.
He's now 1 for 6.
He would hit another one to ice it. Hey, look, bottom line, LeBron gave the people what they came to see. 104-99 the final, and handed the Pels a tough loss as they battled. Head coach Willie Green.
I mean, I speak for our whole group. We're extremely proud of the effort, the competitiveness that our group approaches the game with every night. They're playing together. They're not only giving us everything they have, but they're out-competing, outworking, and even when we come up short, there's a lot of positives and improvements from where we were. So if we play like that, we're going to win way more games than we lose.
You heard it in the highlight package there. Brandon Ingram with 32 points, just not enough.
I like the things that we did offensively and defensively. We were active. He found the right shots on the floor. Some guys stepped up again. We just fell a little short tonight.
Well, we'll see what takes place this week as the Pelicans have a handful of games, including tonight. We'll get to that here in a quick second. But when we come back, Todd Graffagnini will have this week's player interview, as we'll hear his conversation with big man Trey Jemison. That is next, as you're listening to Pelicans Weekly on WWL.
Welcome back to Pelicans Weekly. Here's the voice of the New Orleans Pelicans, Todd Graffagnini, with this week's interview.
Welcome back to Pelicans Weekly. Todd Graffagnini with you. Special guest, Pelicans big man Trey Jemison on the show. Trey, great to have you. It's been so much fun to watch you play, and just good chance now to get the people to know you a little bit.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man, for having me on the show. Excited.
You got it. Look, you're starting to get some meaningful minutes here, especially as of late. Look, you're a two-way player, but still, that's a big responsibility considering that your head coach is allowing you the opportunity to do these things and play really down the stretch minutes.
Man, it's huge, man. I'm so grateful that Willie gives me a chance to go out here and just compete. That's all. It's just competing out here, man, trying to help the team win. So I'm excited.
It's really been a whirlwind for you the last year, hasn't it? To go from where you were, Pelicans training camp a year ago, to where you are now on the roster, but it was a long and winding road in the last 14 months, hadn't it been?
It has been, man. Be honest, man, I've been trusting God, man. It's been a lot of ups and downs in the G League on 10 days, on two-way, man. But it's grateful to be here, man. I learned a lot through that whole process.
You went through training camp with the Pels last year, and then you were in Birmingham with the squadron. And then you got the call from the Wizards to the big club. I want to know what that day was like when, you found out that you were going to be an NBA player.
So we had a squadron game that night, and I believe we won, but I had a double streak going on. I had like 10 in a row, and I broke it that night, and I sounded frustrated. My agent called me, and I wasn't trying to hear him, to be honest. He said, bro, call me tomorrow. He said, hey, it's kind of important. Answer the phone. I said, all right, what's up? He said, you're going to Washington in the morning. I said, for what? He said, you got a 10-day. And I was driving in my car, man. I pulled over and I cried, man. It was one of those days you prayed for so long and finally happened. I was super excited.
So what was the experience like with the Wizards?
It was learning, man. They actually fired their coach while I was on my 10-day, which was a unique experience. But it was still good, man. Be on the NBA court, the NBA jersey was dope.
Well, then you got to go to Memphis after that, and you really played. You know, I told you earlier this year, it hurt me to watch you in that Grizzlies uniform, but you played a lot of games. I mean, you got 25 games now of NBA experience, but you really played some meaningful minutes with the Grizzlies, didn't you?
I did, man. It was huge, man. To be honest, I never expected to play and start so many games as a rookie. You know, I went undrafted, so I was expecting, hey, get a chance, you know, get a practice and then. But I go out there, started 12 games, played 25 games. It was amazing, man. Guarding LeBron, Giannis, Embiid, AD, it's been a blessing.
Well, also, you're a lot closer to home. You know, you grew up in Birmingham. I know you played in that arena before when you were with UAB, so that had to be a little surreal as well.
Oh, definitely, man. It's crazy. Like, my mom was leaving work coming straight to the games. It was like, hey, I'll be there after work, and that's just a great feeling to have, man.
Well, now you're back in New Orleans, and what was that process like that you got the call back here, and now you're back with the Pelicans again?
What's crazy, man, I got waived on a Wednesday after Summer League, and the Pelicans called me Friday morning, so they were going to pick me up. So it wasn't even 48 hours, man, that I was with the Pelicans. And I was so blessed, man, just to, hey, like, full circle moment.
No doubt about it. All right, well, I know the year hadn't gone exactly the way you guys have wanted it to this point, but there's still a long way to go. How do you guys keep a positive attitude despite the record?
Being grateful and understand where we're at, you know what I'm saying? If we were fully healthy and losing games, it might be different. But we're hurt, we're still adjusting. We're going to figure it out. It's November. By March, we're going to be one of the best teams in the league.
All right, Trey, we're here in Dallas. It's an NBA Cup game. There's a little more juice to these games?
Oh, definitely, man. Yeah, some stuff on the line, for sure.
All right, well, look, it's been great to watch you. You're a mile a minute. It's awesome. I know you're really battling down there. How's that hook shot coming? I know you're working on it.
I love that hook shot, man. That's my go-to move, man.
All right,
sir.
We need you to make some more. That's Trey Jemison here on Pelicans Weekly. Thanks so much. Have a great game tonight. And we'll send it back to Gus Kattengell to wrap up the show after this. You're listening to Pelicans basketball on WWL.
Welcome back to Pelicans Weekly on WWL. Now, back to Gus Kattengell.
Our thanks to Todd Graffagnini and Trey Jemison for that interview. So, before the team got to Dallas for tonight's game, don't forget, stick around for Pelicans warm-up right after this, they had practice. And one of the things about practice was to see who was starting to come back. Well, if you're a Pels fan, you probably loved hearing that C.J. McCollum was back at practice, Coach.
We're getting some guys they're moving better, they're improving. We don't have quite the time and days that they'll be ready to go, but they're progressing, and that's definitely a good sign for us.
Yeah. How about the Javonte Murray, the latest on him?
He got on the floor today and did some work on the floor, some shooting, some ball handling. So he's still progressing, but not quite yet ready yet for contact.
All right. Herb Jones, Jordan Hawkins.
Hawk did a little bit in practice. Not Herb, though, not today.
Bottom line, though, the players are starting to make their way back onto the court. I know it's not soon enough for Pels fans, or even myself. Back to C.J. McCollum, though. What was it like to be back at practice?
It was no contact practice today, but I'm getting close. I'm in the return to play protocol right now where I'm doing 5-on-5. I got 1-on-1 coming up, and then we'll go from there. I don't think they put a timeline on when I'm going to return, but I'll be back soon. I'll be back soon.
So as you've watched all these injuries piled up for the Pels, have you said, I mean, really, what is going on? There's no way. I've never seen anything like this. Well, you're not alone. C.J. McCollum on this injury situation that the Pels are going through.
I mean, I've never seen a team get so many injuries at once to so many guys that are that important to a team. Usually it's one or two, and you kind of figure it out, and that's difficult. But, you know, you're talking 7 guys, 8 guys who are all in rotation, a lot of guys that are starters. You know, you're missing essentially the highest paid players on the team besides B.I., right? All at once, I think it's difficult, but Coach has done a great job of kind of keeping us together. Younger guys have played well. They obviously Boston, you know, some of those guys who even weren't on the roster to start the season are playing impactful minutes and developing. But we got to get it together fast. We got to start winning games, and we got to get healthy. Within reason, right? Guys shouldn't rush back, but whenever they're ready and they hit the ground running, we're going to need every game.
Jordan Hawkins also spoke after practice. He had this to say about the injuries.
Honestly, I've never seen something like this before. Honestly, but everybody out in our rotations hurt is pretty crazy.
Look, one of the things, though, while you're not getting the wins, the team is battling and they're competing. C.J. McCollum on how hard this has been, and more importantly, how head coach Willie Green's handled it.
He's always even keel. Coach Willie is always steady. You know, he was steady when, the Titanic was kind of sinking when I first got here. You know what I mean? A lot of losses in a row. B.I. was hurt. There was a lot going on with the team, and he was always steady. You know, he said that we'd turn it around. And I think this is different, similar but different, because so many guys are hurt. We know we got potential to be really good, but we got to put it together and we got to be healthy. And I think the tide's going to turn, and I joke with Z, winter is coming. It's going to get better for everybody soon.
Well, I can't wait for winter to get here. 2 reasons: I'm tired of sweating. It's November, and secondly, if you know the reference, that means war. Jordan Hawkins.
These last 2 games, I've been really happy with how we played. I think we're competing at a really high level. So I just think if you just keep competing, keep playing as a team, I think we'll be fine.
And part of the reason the team is competing is guys are stepping up. Look, 2 Brandons. Brandon Boston's done pretty well. Brandon Ingram's done really well. C.J. McCollum on Brandon Boston.
He always could hoop. I think that's what people don't understand. Like, he always had game. He's a McDonald's guy. He's at Kentucky for a reason. And now I think he's mature. He's starting to understand the NBA game better, his pace, the way he's getting to his spots. And some of it is opportunity. You get drafted to the Clippers, you ain't going to play a lot as a young player. So a lot of it is opportunity. But there's a lot of guys that are talented, and you're seeing that in him, a talented guy who's worked on his game, done things the right way in terms of preparation. He works on his body. He's doing the little stuff that's important for longevity in the league, and then obviously the game is speaking for itself on the court.
And then, of course, Yves Missi, couple of double-doubles, playing very well. Got a block on Anthony Davis. Is really starting to show the progress, even from the summer, says Jordan Hawkins.
It's crazy that, what pick was he, 21? Yeah. It's crazy that he fell to 21. And I think, me personally, I think he could have been taken off number 1 off the board. So we got lucky. We're happy to have him. He's been, you can see the growth from just summer league. He's gotten so much better. So.
And as I mentioned, from Brandon Ingram, 29, 32 points just over the weekend. C.J. McCollum.
Brandon's been great, and I just told him today, man, he's been a man amongst children in terms of his approach, in terms of the consistency. Obviously, he's shooting more threes, he's passing, he's defending, he's having to carry a huge load, and in spite of what kind of went on this summer, all the questions, all the contract stuff, he's been very professional and has showed up every day, and I'm proud of him for the way he's approached this season. No, it's not. And, for a young guy who's, becoming a young man now, he's an adult now, I think he showed maturity in his work ethic, maturity in, leadership, how he leads around the team, and his vocalness, but also his ability to adapt. He's had to adapt to us all playing together, us not being there. We want him to shoot more threes. There's all these things being asked of him, and he's done it all and continued to hoop. And I think Willie said it, where are we if he's not playing at a high level this season?
So where are we with the Pelicans, by the way, as we go into another, again, 4 slate of games here before we meet again on Pelicans Weekly? Well, currently they're second to last in the Western Conference at 4-10. I know, it's over. Season's done. Hear me out. Going into tonight's game against Dallas, they are 4 full games from Denver in the 6th spot. Denver 7-5. In the 6th spot. If you start getting your players back, you're not that far out of it. Jordan Hawkins was asked, hey, look, can you guys still make the playoffs?
Absolutely. I don't think that's in our heads right now that we're not making the playoffs. So I just think we're just waiting for everybody to get healthy.
And finally, C.J. McCollum.
Yeah, we got to get healthy first. I think that's the thing that everybody's looking at is, when are we going to be healthy? When we're going to be able to put, our best players on the floor consistently. We haven't been able to do that. And our reality is that we've lost a lot of games. We still have a lot of games left to play. And teams go on runs in either direction. And for us, I think we're playing better basketball now. It's about getting healthy, continuing to bring guys along, guys that, have had a chance to kind of play extended minutes, have been able to show what they have to offer, which is great for their development, but also for our team. And for us, once we get back, we got to take it one game at a time, but we got to win at a higher pace than normal in order to have a chance, and I think we're all aware of that. And this is when it really matters in terms of beating teams you're supposed to beat earlier in the season. You can't lose the teams that have no chance of making the playoffs. You got to have those games because when you get in this part of the schedule where you got Dallas, you got Cleveland, who ain't lost a game yet. You got the Warriors, who are best team, best record in the West right now. Knicks coming up. We got Pacers. You got a lot of teams that are good, and this is a part of the schedule where it gets difficult. So you have to win the games you're supposed to win and be competitive in the others. And I think we're heading in a good direction. Hopefully, bodies start coming back in the next week or so.
The Pelicans with 4 games to play by the time we meet again next Tuesday, as they are about to take on Dallas tonight. They will hop on a plane, lose an hour, which is awesome, take on Cleveland tomorrow night. Now, the Cavs are in Boston tonight, and yes, enter tonight's action undefeated. Friday, we are back at the SKC to host Golden State. On Monday, the Pelicans will be at Indiana. Our thanks to Trey Jemison for joining us. For Todd Graffagnini, I'm Gus Kattengell, and we will see you next week for another episode of Pelicans Weekly, right here on WWL.
Pelicans Weekly was brought to you by Smoothie King. Rule the day. Ochsner Health System, the official healthcare provider of the New Orleans Pelicans. Keesler Federal Credit Union, official credit union of the New Orleans Pelicans. SeatGeek, get your seat in a seat. And Morris Bart, if you know, you know. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week on Pelicans Weekly, right here on WWL. Let's go, Pels!